My husband forbade me from entering his home office for 7 years. The day he forgot to lock it, I found my own death certificate inside. For 7 years, there was one rule in our marriage: never enter Daniel's home office. It's confidential work, he'd always say. He worked as a corporate attorney. It made sense. Client files, contracts, private information. I respected his boundaries. Then one rainy Tuesday, he rushed to the hospital after his father suffered a heart attack. For the first time in years, he forgot to lock the office. I wasn't snooping. I was looking for our house insurance documents. He once told me they were in the filing cabinet. The cabinet wasn't there. Instead, I found a safe. It was already open. Inside were passports, cash, property deeds, then a brown envelope with my name on it. I opened it. The first document inside made my knees buckle. Death certificate. Name, Emma Carter. My name. Date of death, 3 years ago. Cause of death, car accident. I read it 5 times. It wasn't fake. It carried official government stamps. The next document was even stranger. A life insurance payout. Rupee 2.8 crore. Paid. To my husband. I couldn't breathe. I was alive. So how had he collected insurance for my death? When Daniel came home that night, I said nothing. Instead, I secretly photographed every document. The next morning, I went straight to the insurance company. The manager examined the policy. His face turned pale. This claim should never have been approved. According to their records, I had died during a business trip 3 years earlier. Someone had identified my body. Someone had signed the paperwork. Someone had collected the money. But I'm standing right here. He immediately contacted their fraud department. By evening, police detectives were interviewing me. The lead investigator asked one question. Have you ever been unconscious for an extended period? I remembered. 3 years ago, a serious car accident. I'd spent 6 days in intensive care. Daniel handled everything. I never questioned it. The detective quietly said, "We think your husband used that accident. He declared you dead while you were unconscious." But why? That's what we're trying to figure out. 2 days later, Daniel was arrested, not for murder, for insurance fraud. But the deeper investigators dug, the darker the truth became. Daniel hadn't acted alone. The hospital administrator who signed my false death papers had also approved dozens of suspicious insurance claims over the past decade. It was an organized fraud ring. Then came the twist I never expected. Daniel requested to speak to me privately. "I never wanted you hurt," I laughed bitterly. "You declared me dead." He nodded. "I know, but I didn't create the plan. My brother did. His younger brother had owed dangerous people a fortune. The insurance payout was meant to save him. Daniel agreed because he believed the fraud would never be discovered. I thought I'd pay everything back before anyone noticed. Instead, the money disappeared. His brother fled the country, leaving Daniel to face everything alone. I asked the question that haunted me. "Why didn't you tell me?" He looked down. "Because every year that passed, the lie became impossible to confess." 6 months later, Daniel pleaded guilty. He received 7 years in prison. The hospital administrator received 12. The insurance company recovered most of the money. I received something far more valuable: my legal identity. For months, government records still listed me as deceased. I couldn't renew my passport, couldn't access some bank accounts. At one point, a clerk looked at me and said, "I'm sorry, ma'am. Our system says you're dead." I smiled sadly. I've been hearing that a lot lately. It took almost a year to officially become alive again. The final divorce hearing lasted only 14 minutes. As we left the courtroom, Daniel quietly said, "I did love you." I looked at him for a long time. "I believe you. And somehow, that makes what you did even worse. Because strangers betray you for money, the people who love you know exactly what your trust is worth. And when they sell it, there's no insurance policy in the world that can ever compensate for the loss. If you discovered someone had legally declared you dead while you were still alive, would you ever be able to trust another person again?"